Get in.
Okay.
Make sure everything, all your gauges are working.
Okay.
Air brakes, everything's up to speed, and we got gas.
Alright, so now what's happening with the hybrid system? Is it charging?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
This truck's just kind of warming up. As soon as we put the vehicle into drive, just like a normal automatic transmission, we'll hit drive, then you'll hear the hydraulics kick on. I'm going to let the engine warm up for just a second.
Okay.
Make sure we keep our air pressure. But it's just like a standard automatic. The driver comes in, and I'll do it now. We hit drive. Right now, the hydraulics are charging the accumulator. Okay, we haven't shifted into drive. We're still in neutral. Now it's charged, and now the truck is ready to go at this point.
Okay. Just
like your normal operating truck. From that point on, the driver never has to think anything different from a standard automatic truck at that point.
Alright.
Put on the brake.
Alright.
So we'll have a little bit of launch here, and if you notice on the panel there, there's a gauge, the second one over from the left.
Yes.
It shows that we're about just over 50% charge. So that was just the system turning itself on.
Okay.
Now if you watch the gauge as we drive, the better starts and stops that we get, that gauge will go down on our launch. If you notice, the engine's not even revving up at this point. So we're actually getting up. Now as we slow down. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
So we didn't do it. I didn't get up very high speed there, but we still had 50% some charge. Now the launch, we get up to 10 miles an hour before the engine actually kicks up in speed. I'm going to slow down here and get us a charge.
And that's the key to it. Every time you stop, it's recharging itself off the brake energy.
Right. The weight of the vehicle, the potential energy in there, we're charging and putting it into the accumulators. So then we accelerate here. Say for example, the guy's going to pick up another can here, and that's all day long. The people will stop every 50, 75, 100 feet picking up a can. So then the guy will accelerate to the next one, and then stop again.
And all that stopping and starting is being done just with the hydraulics there.
Correct. And if you notice, the engine has not really revved up to with a typical garbage truck. You hear the engine lock up the torque converter, so the engine locks up the torque converter, and then he slows down. Where with this one, that's all hydraulic noise. Then you hear the engine kick in there.
Right. And that's the whole point. You're saving wear and tear on the engine, wear and tear on the brakes.
And if you notice the last initial portion of braking, you feel a little, that's the air brakes taking over. From 2 miles an hour to 0 is when we actually utilize the air brakes. And part of that is we don't want them to seize up. So there's a lot of parts with that. So that whole time there, it's all hydraulic braking till right there. That last initial stopping is the actual air brakes. So you notice if the guy gets up to 10 or 15 miles an hour on a typical truck, they're using all air brakes to slow that vehicle down the entire weight of the vehicle. Where we're doing all the stopping with the hydraulics, which is how we can see brake light.
Right, the better productivity comes in from the acceleration?
Acceleration and the slowing down. And I haven't even done a good charge at this point. I'm not the best driver in the world of this thing, but you get an idea of how it's starting.